Welcome everyone. My name is Linda. I'm going to be doing your admin training on non-zip form use. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I will also be giving you a brief glimpse today on what your new back office system will look like called Zone. I will also be introducing you and showing you around your new transaction management platform, SkySlope. The first thing we're going to do is go ahead and get logged in. So you'll notice my first and last name are already put in here, as well as my password. I didn't want you guys to sit through here and watch me do all that, so I got it all prepared for you. So I'm going to go ahead and click login. This will take me straight into my new Zone dashboard. This is where you'll come to do anything you need to do according to Realty One Group. The main point to show here is going to be where your personal preferences are going to live. You're going to select users right here on the left hand side. Click on My Account, and it's going to take you straight into your personal preferences. This is where you'll be able to make edits to any of your personal information, emergency contacts, office information, contact info. Your public info is where you'll be able to change your picture, as well as make any changes to your social media accounts and anything that is going to be public for Realty One Group to show. Programs are what you are enrolled in within Realty One Group, so make sure you have everything in there correct. And billing, you'll just want to make sure your credit card's always up to date in this section, so that way they can process it correctly. We're going to go back home to your Zone dashboard. We're going to go to our One Shop. Our One Store is going to be where you'll be able to order any business cards, any signs, as well as any Realty One Group merchandise such as hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, whatever it is that may have that Realty One Group logo on it. The next one is going to be our support right here at the bottom. You are able to create a ticket to your company, as well as create tickets and reach out to your new transaction management system, SkySlope, through that transaction support. When you do need to go into SkySlope to check on files or anything like that, you are just going to enter SkySlope by clicking on transactions. By doing so, sorry about that, this will take us straight into your SkySlope homepage. The first and foremost thing I want to show you guys is going to be where support lives. It's going to be right here in the top right-hand corner of any page. I'm going to click on that. You're able to call our support team. You can email them. You can start a chat with them. And if you just don't want to make dinner, or you just have a ton of files that you need to review and you're just swamped, you can have them order you a pizza. So you just click on this big blue button right here. This is going to produce a chat window. Now you can enter any question you would like. If it's not extremely urgent, you can email them. The fastest way to our support team is going to be by this chat with us. Your email will already be in there. It's going to be based on your account that you're logged into. So I'm just going to say help. Oops, sorry about that. Just going to click on chat with us. Our team is here 24/7, 365 days out of the year. If you're working, they are working. Holidays, weekends, you name it, they will be here for you. We guarantee them so much that if they don't answer your chat within 10 seconds, pick up your phone call within 2 rings, or answer your email within 20 minutes, we will send you a $5 Starbucks gift card. So I'm going to say, it looks like I have Megan on the line here, so I'm going to say, what did you have for breakfast? Now, Megan and our support team are all in-house. They're located right here in our downtown office of Sacramento, California. They are also all come from an IT background, are all SkySlope experts, and are trained in real estate practices. There's also another option in here. There's this call me button. If I just want to talk to a real person, I've had a long day and I just don't want to type anything else anymore, I can just click on call me on my phone, or I can have them call me on my computer, just like we're speaking through right now. I'm going to say, sounds yummy. Thank you. I know she has actual clients with real questions to be helping, so I'm going to let her go. We're going to go back into the system in here. Now the next notification and preferences will live within the system. You'll click on your name on the top right-hand corner. My name for our training today is A-Team Trainer. So I'm going to click on My Account. I'm going to be able to make sure my personal information is correct in here. My notifications, I want to
check as many as I need, listings for transactions, for dead deals, as well as for tasks. This will trigger the system to send you emails on any of these notifications you have chosen. You can check or uncheck as many as you would like and just click Submit to save those changes. So once I'm done, I'll just click Submit. Your signature. Now SkySlope does have a signature section for those emails that you do send out of the system. So at any time, make sure that you put your professional signature that you guys already use in your everyday emails in here, so that way all email correspondence out of SkySlope looks just as professional. I'm going to go back home. I'm able to go home by two options. I can either click this home button, or I can click on your guys' Realty One Group logo. Now, this actually doubles as a hyperlink, so whenever I select it, it will always take me back to the home page no matter where I am. So you guys are admins. You guys are going to be reviewing the documents your agents place, but some of you will also be putting in documents and creating listings and transactions for them. So I'm going to show you the full circle process of getting a listing in there as well as reviewing it. So we'll get started. I have a client. He's given me his exclusive right to sell. My agent came up to me, gave me all his information, so I'm going to enter it into the system now. I'm going to click on Manage Listings. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to click on Create a Listing. This is going to give me a pop-up that allows me to enter an address. This address bar is actually powered by Google, and it's going to be based on my geographical location. So I'm going to start typing in my address, 1517 21st Street. Here it is. Now, because I entered it into that Google search bar, it's going to autofill those informations for me within my listing info screen. My street number, street name, zip, and city and state will already be in there. Anything in red is a required field. Because you guys are admins, you can select what agent you would like to assign this to. If it's for yourself, you would just click on your own. We're going to say it's my agent E-team. I'm going to select the type of listing this is. Now, depending on each of your offices and affiliates, you all have a different type of list. I'm going to select my listing here for our training purpose. I'm going to type in a price, 1525. Sacramento market is booming right now, so prices are skyrocketing. So that's why that house is going up for more than $1 million. The year built, 2014, and I'm going to select a source. How I obtain this listing. I can select any of these options, but if I don't see my option in there, I can always select other and type that in. I'm going to go back to previous customer. Now, for listing commission, I'm going to say it's an even 6% split between my listing and sale, so I'm going to type in 3% on here and 3% there. I am also able to enter an amount if needed. I'm going to use that listing date. I'm going to say today, and it's going to expire in 3 months because my client wants to sell this quick. I'll get that in there, and I'll click on Next. The next screen is going to be my contact screen. Now, if I've never worked with the seller before, or my agent's never worked with them and I'm putting it in for them, I want to manually enter their information. I've worked with my client before, and I know this my agent has, so I have him already in here, so here he is. My first name, last name, and email will already be filled in for me based on what I had saved previously. SkySlope does have a digital directory, so all questions on here, all contacts in here will be saved within the system. Now, we highly encourage you guys and your agents as well to enter in that address if they have one for the seller, their alternate address, so that way if they have a thank you card or package they need to send them, they can send that out to them. I'm just going to save this. If Liam was working with his brother Chris or with his fiance, I could click on Add New and add their information in there. But today he's going to be selling this on his own with me, so I'm just going to click Submit. This will take me into my checklist. Now, this is going to be a major area for you guys. So there's multiple ways to get documents in here. The first and most fan favorite way is going to be by this property specific email address. You can forward, you can scan documents in, you can email them. This will work miracles for you guys. So I'm just going to copy that. Liam actually sent me his listing packet, so I'm going to get that in there. I'm just going to click on forward. I'm going to attach that email, and I'm going to click on send. This will send it into my property file will go into my Documents tab. Now, I no longer have to download this document onto my computer and then re-upload it somewhere else. I can do that all from within my email without ever having to go in and out of things. I'll go back to my SkySlope page. Another way to get documents in here is going to be by directly attaching them from your computer. I can just click Attach. I can browse my computer files and I can get them in there as well. Now, I am going to talk about this, so just hold on for a second. Before any questions come up on that, I will tell you guys how to review these documents. I'm going to go to the Documents tab. I'm going to refresh my page to get that email in there. Sorry about that. If you guys, again, if you guys have any questions throughout the training, just feel free to chat them over so that way I can answer them towards the end. We're going to refresh it one more time to see if it's in there. There it is. So it will take a few seconds depending on the size of the packets that you're sending in or the documents. SkySlope does have a limit of 25 megabytes. So there are a couple documents I need from that listing packet. So I'm going to click on Split. It's going to allow me to preview my document on the right-hand side and rename it on the left. So I know I need my listing agreement. I'm going to start typing that in. The system will auto-recognize that that is a requirement of my checklist. For you guys, you will see it in blue. Your agents will see it in red. So I'm just going to select Required. It's going to auto-fill that entire section for me. I'm going to scroll through these arrows here, and I'm going to see how many pages this document is. From page 1 to page 8. I'm going to go to that next one. It looks like my agency agreement, so I'm going to start typing that in. Here it is. Again, it's going to search for anything that is part of my checklist that starts with AG, and it looks like my agency agreement's in there. So I'm going to select Required, and it'll autofill in for me. This will save you guys so much time of getting documents into the checklist as well as splitting them out. My seller's advisory, I'll just start typing that in. And it looks like that goes to page 12, so I'll make sure to change this from page 9 to 11, and then this from 12 to 12. I'm going to click on Split this sign. The system will recognize that hard work you just did by telling you nice job. They've split and assigned these to the checklist for you. I'll click OK. This will now take us to back to the checklist where those documents that were once in blue for required are now in red for pending. Now this, if you are uploading the file and the documents in for the agent, this is where you can go in and accept or reject these documents yourself at this time. There is another area that you can do this from as well. Once you accept some of these documents, your agents will you'll click on Update Agent, where they will then get an email from you that looks similar to something like this. It's going to say Broker Bob. Below is the most current state of your checklist. Click here to log into SkySlope and update any missing requirements. It looks like my broker, you guys, rejected that listing agreement, so it's going to turn it purple for the agent. You're also going to have to enter a reason why you did that so that they know what to do next. Your agency disclosure and seller's advisory, it looks like those were completed, so those were accepted by you too. So we're just going to show that on this side so you guys can see it. I'm going to reject this. Missing signature, page 8. I'm going to save that so that way my agent knows to go in there, or if I'm correcting it for them, I know what to do next. I'm going to accept it and accept this one as well. Now this is that listing side of that checklist. I've done everything I need to do. Before I show you where else you'll be going in to review the documents where you'll be living most out of, depending of course on your own practices inside your affiliate or your brokerage, I'm going to show you the Documents tab because there's going to be things that you guys do in here that are essential for your everyday practices. So, as you can tell, this assigned column right here is going to show where all these documents are within that checklist. Listings obviously don't only have 4 documents, they have more close to 50 to 60. This is where you're going to be dumping everything that corresponds to that file in here. This is absolutely has no storage limit. So think of it as your virtual filing cabinet to that property file. Get everything you need in here. Absolutely any pictures, any documents, Word documents, Excel documents, zip files, anything at all can live in this section. You're also able to email documents out of this section. You just select the document you need. and click on email, and that email will get sent out. You can send it to whoever you want. There's also a new function in here, and I'm going to select these 3 documents, and it's the Share Docs function. I'm going to click on Share Docs. If this needs to be shared with the agent on the other side, you can just create a bundle. I'm going to name it really quick, and I'm going to click Create. Here's my link. I'm going to copy that link, and I can either email it out, or if I'm taking care of the social media for my agents as well, or I'm putting them anywhere else that anyone can preview them, I can actually click on this link. It's going to open it up. Whoever looks at this will have to enter in their first and their last name, their email address, and their phone numbers. That way you capture all that information for marketing purposes, as well as for your own peace of mind, whether if you're sending it to the lender, the escrow officer, agent on the other side, there's no more of, I didn't get it, or I think I saw it, did I see it? You'll be able to actually know whether or not it was looked at. We'll go back to our SkySlope homepage. The next thing I want to show you guys is the log section. This is going to be the virtual footprint within the system. You'll be able to see whether the agent added anything, whether if you're the one creating these files, if they've added, if you've done something, if someone else has touched them, any documents that were assigned, any notes that were left for you, you'll be able to see check no. It says that missing signature on page 8 for this one. Also, any emails received will all go back into this section, so you can keep everything in here for compliance reasons. Any emails or even text messages that come in here, you can actually still click on them. You can still preview them just like they did in your original email, as well as see any attachments that were added to it. Now that wraps up the listing side. I'm going to show you guys where you will be living out of. This documents to review section right here. This is where you guys will be coming in to see what's still pending, what's not pending, what's needed, what you have left to get done, if your agents have put anything in there. So we're going to use this transaction right here. I'm going to double click on it. It's going to take me directly into my checklists. I'm able to see that my agent has put in all of these documents. Again, I can go in here, accept as many of these documents as I need. I'm going to say I'm going to reject this one. I'm going to say missing signature. That's the most popular one. I'm just going to click on save. Now, to get that email that I showed you guys, all you will do once you've completely either accepted or rejected all these documents and reviewed them all, you just click on Update Agent. That will send an email. Or you can also click on this arrow down here. You can select who you want to send that email to. You can type in any comment such as still missing Avid. Please get that in so that we can close out the file. Thank you. So that way when your agent sees that, they'll notate that message that you left for them as well. Now, if you're not the only one that's going to be reviewing this, if you're that first reviewer and someone else comes in and reviews the closing documents, you'll want to make sure to change it in within this section right here. This blank spot right here, sorry, I don't know why it's not in there, will actually be your stages. You can check it from unchecked to checked to first reviewer to second reviewer. You will have options in there to make changes. So we'll go back to our documents to review once I've completed this one. So I can go to my next one to see what else is pending. I can go in here. I can see that this is the one I did. I can actually accept that new agreement. So that one's done now. And I can just go back in here. This will make it so much easier for you guys to review all your documents. I'm going to go back home. Now I'm going to show you guys where your listings will live as well as your transactions. Manage listings. As admins, you guys have 2 options in this section. You can either withdraw a listing if an agent lets you know that that one's been canceled. So you just single click that property file, click on withdraw listing. You're going to get a pop-up that asks you to enter a reason why. We'll say seller pulled house from market. Now, as an admin, you have the right to fully cancel the file since you've checked to make sure that cancellation document was in there. If it wasn't in there, you can just leave that unchecked and click submit until that agent gets it in. I'm just going to show you what that looks like. I'll click on submit. Now, if I did that and I did not check fully cancel file, it would actually move down to this canceled listings pending approval so that I can go in and approve the cancellation. So if I double click on this, this will take me straight again into that checklist where there's that approve cancellation button. So that way I can notate that that canceled contract is in there so I know that it's been fully done and I can fully cancel that out. Go back home. Manage listings. Another option you're going to have in here is going to be to accept contract on a lot of these listings. You're going to single click that property file. You're going to click accept contract. Oh, that's not the right one. Let's go to one that's been completed. Here it is. Accepted contract. Nope. Sorry about that, guys. One of these I know is, there it goes. So this is going to convert over your listing into a transaction. This looks exactly the same as the listing info screen, just with a few differences of closing date, acceptance date, your MLS number, sale price, as well as making sure that source of how that agent obtained that listing is it whether or not it was an office lead. I'm not going to bore you guys and fill this entire thing all over again, so I'm just going to show you one that's been fully done. Go back home. Go to Manage Transactions. Now, if you're creating a transaction for your agent, so you represent just the buy side, you can come in here and click Create Transaction. So I'm going to click on, I'm going to show you the cancel transaction. It's going to be the same thing on the listing side as it is on the transaction. So single click that property file, click on Cancel Transaction, and you'll get that same pop-up. The key difference in here is that you guys are also going to be able to close out files. If I moved this over to, if I close this file and it moved over to my closed transactions to be archived, I can then fully archive that file once I fully get everything in there that's required. If it's my HUD that I'm waiting on, once it's in there, I can just single click that property file and click on Archive Transaction. So I'm going to show you what one transaction fully completed looks like. So I'm going to go in here. Here's all that information that's filled out for my transaction info screen. If everything's done, I can close out that file by clicking Escrow Now Closed. I can enter an actual closing date and click OK, and I can archive it from here if everything's in there, but if it's still missing something, I want to make sure I keep that unchecked. So I'll just say OK on this one, just so you can see the full process of it. It's going to be moved down here to this closed transactions to be archived. I can see that 9 items are still remaining. So once I get all those 9 in there, I will just single click that property file and click on archive. So we'll go back into this file that we were working on earlier. I'm going to go, so to show you guys that it looks very similar, just key differences throughout this transaction. We'll go to the Contacts tab. Everything in here is a little more extensive than that listing site I showed you. You have your seller, your landlord, your purchaser and tenant, title, escrow, or attorney. Only one of those fields need to be entered, not all 3 of them. Agent representing the other side, and then you have your lender, home warranty, and miscellaneous contact. Depending on your own business practices and your brokerage, lender might be a required field if that's something you guys need. Commission, this is where you want to come in here and make sure that agent or yourself as well, that sale price is correct, that listing and sale commission is in there correctly, as well as if there's a referral agent, if there's a percentage that needs to go out, that W-9 form is uploaded. If they're working with a TC or if this is a co-agent, you can want to make sure everything's in there so that way that check is correct when it goes to accounting. The checklist. Now this looks very similar to that listing side that I showed you, just that it's going to be split into sales documentation, disclosure documents, closing documents, and because this is a converted file, I'm able to see my listing documentation as well. Now, when I'm reviewing these files, one of the best things to know is how to review these documents. All I do is click on that. I can either hover over that paperclip, which allows me to preview that document from here so I can see if there's a signature on it or not. Or I can also click on it, and this will open up a new tab in my browser, which allows me to preview that document as well. Once I fully review it, make sure everything's signed, all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed, and everything looks perfect, I can go in and click accept. Now, if I'm looking at it and I realize they're missing a signature, I can also unaccept it as well. So that way they know it's still pending for someone else to review, or I can reject it at that moment. Yeah. So another key thing for you guys to know is in this Documents tab. Now, as the admins, you actually will be getting documents signed through DigiSign. You can do that from your Documents tab. So you just click on what needs to be signed. For you guys, it's probably going to be some closure documents. So we're just going to use this listing agreement as an example. I'm just going to click on the document I need. I'm going to select DigiSign, and it's going to bring me straight into my digital signature platform where I'm able to create that document and get it out for signature, and it's going to bring it back in here. I'm going to show you what that full circle looks like, so I'll start it from this beginning to the end. So just hold on for a second. Now, this transaction summary button right here is different than the listing side. The listing does not have one. This is what we call a brief synopsis of the file. A little quick snapshot, if you may. I'm going to save this to my computer here, and I'm going to open it up. I'm able to view all my transaction info details on here, the agent's name, the office they're in, as well as any type or the property information, all the contact information, and the commission on here. We'll go back home. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys incomplete checklist is going to be a great aid for your agents to work on. It's going to show them what files still have pending documents that have not been turned in yet so that they know what to get into the files quicker. Access archives. This is where all of those closed archives will go into. So once that file is fully closed and archived, it's going to move into this section. You're able to do two things in here. You can either download all the documents, including any email correspondence between the client and the agent and yourself that are going to be in the log, and you can download just your checklist documents. Each one's going to produce a zip file that you can either download onto your computer and keep for your own record keeping. You can email it out to the client, or you can email it out to the agent for them to send to their clients later on. You will also have the option to reactivate a file if this file should not have been fully archived just yet. This will take it straight back into that Manage Transactions section. Back home. Working documents. This is going to be, tasks and reminders. This is going to be where all your tasks will filter through to. If you do use that task feature within our system, you're able to go in here, create templates for your listing tasks, your sale tasks, anything that you guys use a lot of. You're also able to sync them from within this section with your iCalendar, your Outlook calendar, and your Google Calendar. And then working documents. Each of you is going to have that working documents section. Since you are all admin, you will have an office inbox. Each office will have its individual SkySlope email address you'll be able to get from the main account. A lot of the times it's going to be your office name followed by @skyslope.com. Your agents can then email documents into this section for rejected offers, for anything that you may need to have access to. If something got emailed into here, I can move it, I can assign it to a property file, or I can send it to the rejected offers section. Personal docs. Each of you will have your own personal docs section. It is private storage, similar to Dropbox with unlimited storage limit. So you can place anything you want here, vacation pictures, marketing materials, JPEGs, PDFs, Excel documents, Word documents, anything at all, with the intention being that you're uploading documents prior to having a file in SkySlope. So all those preliminary documents, when a client's getting their offers in and nothing's been accepted yet, you want to keep those documents in here. For you guys, it might be something different. So it might be something the agent's sending you before that it's not been signed. You want to keep that all organized on this side. Office docs. Only the broker login will have access to place documents in here, but these are a section where everybody in the office can see and download any documents they all need to have access to. Rejected offers. If any of the agents send you their rejected offers to that office inbox. Once you move it, this is where it's going to be placed under the rejected offer, so you always have access to it. Now, we're going to go into cancel contracts or all your dead deals will live. When I fully cancel that file, I'm going to go in there. I can see my transactions and my listings. I'm also able to reactivate listings in here. For some reason, they do need to be reactivated, as well as reactivate transactions. Now, I'm going to go into DigiSign. I'm going to show you the full circle process of it, but you are also able to do it from within that Documents tab. Now, SkySlope and DigiSign are fully integrated, so you do need to say where it belongs. So when you click on New Envelope, if the document has no property, that's okay. Once it's been fully executed and signed, it's going to go back into your personal documents section under Working Docs. We're going to be using that file that we worked on earlier, 1517. Here it is at 21st Street. I'm going to select that. Now, as admins, you guys are going to be getting closing documents signed. So you'll want to make sure you select that right document. Because I selected a property file, it's going to show me all the documents that live within that section. I'll click my listing agreement. I can select a template if I need to. The templates are a feature that we have within DigiSign that allow you to save the boxes for your initials, your signatures, your date and timestamps on the documents you send out most frequently. So for those closing documents that you're getting that last minute signature that's needed, you might want to save a template for that so that way it's always set up properly for you. I just click on choose a template. I can apply it right here. And I'll click on close. Now you can name them anything you would like. You can create your own. You can share them out with each other so that way you all have access to them. I'm going to click on next. This will then take me into my recipients and signing order. I'm able to see that here I am. I'm going to select myself because I need to sign. If I had to get a client to sign, I can select them as well. But today I'm not going to need them. I'm just going to have myself signing. You'll be able to see all of the contacts that are within that file because you did select it in the beginning and they do sync up. I'm going to go to next. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom where I need that document signed. Now, I'm able to either get a signature in here, initials, date and timestamps, writable or read-only field, full name, and checkbox. For our purpose for training today, we're just going to say we need that signature. I'm going to put it right there. It's required. I'm going to put a date so I know that this was done on what specific date, just for my own compliance purposes. And I'm going to click on send. I don't need a message since it's just for myself, but if I did want to send one, I can type one out. I can click on send for signature. The beauty of this system is that it's going to allow you to sign now. You can get those tasks that you have for yourself done. You don't have to wait for an email that's going to come in a little bit to tell you, get this document signed. You can do it from all within the platform. I'll just click sign now. I'm going to select my favorite signature style, and I'm going to agree to using my consumer disclosures. I'm going to click on start because I know where I need to sign. I've read this document. I know everything's correct. I just need to get that last signature on there. I'm going to click submit. And that's it. My document's been fully completed. Now, any documents, you'll be taken straight back into the DigiSign homepage where all your completed documents will be. Anything that's been fully executed will go in here. You always have access to it so you're able to see it. Your sent section will hold any documents that are still waiting on a signature. You're also able to do four things in here, I'm sorry. You can create a template if one was not created previously. You can edit or resend the envelope with using the wrench. You can also check the history of the document by clicking on the clock, and the red X will allow you to void that document. So I did say that this is a full circle, so I'm going to show you where that document goes once it's been fully executed. So I'm going to go back into that file. I'm going to use that search bar on the top. Here it is. I'm going to go to my Documents tab. Here's that listing agreement I just got signed. It's going to say the name of the document still, and it's going to have DigiSign at the end, so I know that that is a fully executed document. I'm now going to go into my checklist. I'm going to remove this incomplete, and I'm going to attach the new one. Here it is. I'm going to assign it from the documents left on my checklist. And since I know what's on there, I'm going to click accept. And now that comment is still there. It's just gone to the bottom, so that way they know that that one's fully done. That wraps up our training today. I do want to leave you again with something very important, which is our support team. Our support team will be here for you guys at any time that you may need them. They're happy to assist you any moment, 24/7, 365 days. No problem is too big or small for them to help you with. At this point, I'll be taking questions, so feel free to ask them in that questions box, and I'll be going through each one.